Good afternoon. Stedmeyer, and, Lipkowitz? Anyways, how may I direct your call? Please hold. Oh, Uncle Shecky, what's wrong? Where are you going?
Court! Philpott called my bluff. Wish me luck.
Huh. Well, that can't be good.
The following is transcribed.
Welcome to the Bat-Supe Season 2 Preheat. Looks like it's about to hit the fan, fellows and girls. They're heading back to the courtroom, and this time it feels different. Meanwhile, back in Metropolis, things have gotten really different. Having stepped into a trap he knew was a trap, Superman is in the clutches of the Atom Man. Of course, that means that Clark Kent is also missing, which has a few people on the case. Literally. Will they find him before it's too late? Time to tie on those capes for lots of worry, plenty of claustrophobia, and whining and complaining galore! Being imprisoned is no fun, especially if you're the one who's supposed to be doing the imprisoning. Sucks to be the Atom Man, and now Candy Myers is on the case. Will Clark Kent be rescued? Find out next in Part 11 of The Atom Man in Metropolis, as originally broadcast on November 21st, 1945. But first, it's
time for commercial.
Fellas and girls, we're closer than ever to announcing the winner of the Swell Scholarship. Pending the approval of our legal team and the good men and women of the government. But when we can draw that name out of a hat, you'll be the first to know. Say, maybe we should draw the name out of a cowl instead, to make it more, festive and thematic. Anyway, there's no better thing to do while you wait than have a heaping helping of never nutritious, definitely delicious Bat-Supe for lunch or dinner. Or why not both? Have Mom stock up at your favorite grocer. Bat-Supe, available wherever fine podcasts are sold. Some accessories sold separately.
Curtain. Music.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Suspecting the truth that Clark Kent is Superman, a cunning international spy known only as Sidney arranged for Kent to come to his country house. In a closet lined with lead, the one substance Superman's X-ray vision cannot penetrate, Henry Miller, the deadly Atom Man, waited. When Sidney, conversing with Kent, opened the closet door, the effect of the kryptonite solution in Miller's veins overpowered Kent. Convinced that the Daily Planet reporter and Superman were one and the same person, Sidney and Miller removed him to a secret hideout under the garage, where they planned to keep him in a coma until he either starved to death or died of thirst. As we continue now, 3 days have gone by, during which time, of course, Kent has been missing from the offices of the Daily Planet. Worried, Jimmy Olsen and Candy Myers, a private detective, are searching his Metropolis apartment. Listen.
We've already gone through Mr. Kent's apartment, Candy, and so have the police. We're just wasting time.
You got any better ideas, Jim?
Well, no.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the beginning. You saw him last.
I've already told you about that.
Now, tell me again. And don't leave anything out. Not anything.
Well, it was 3 days ago. Or nights, rather. Mr. Kent got back to the office about 7:30.
Did he say where he'd been?
No, he just asked me what Inspector Henderson and you had found out about that Mr. Sidney.
Yeah.
I told him, and he seemed kind of relieved. Then he said he had an appointment, so he couldn't have dinner with me. I went out, and, well, it's the last time I ever saw him.
You're sure he didn't say where his appointment was?
Well, I'm positive.
And he wasn't working on any special story?
No, he'd been sick. He just got back from Florida that very day.
Yeah, I know. Had anyone been looking for him while he was gone?
Just Dr. Millison, the scientist. But I told you and Inspector Henderson about that.
Yeah, Millicent said he hadn't seen Kent. Let's see now. After he got back from Florida, as far as you know, the only person he saw was Sidney.
Uh-huh. And when Sidney left, Mr. Kent got all excited. He told me to have Inspector Henderson shoot a fingerprint man right over and for me to call you. Then he rushed out and he didn't get back until 7:30.
I wonder why he was so interested in Sidney.
I don't know, but considering how relieved he was when I told him what you'd found out, that Sidney was just a respectable retired businessman, I figure he must have mistaken Sidney for somebody else.
Could be. I'll check. Maybe they got some more dope.
Who? Dope about what?
My office, on Sidney. I told him to keep digging.
Oh, what for? Even the FBI gave him a clean bill of health.
So what? You can't lose anything by trying. Oh, hello, Mary? I'll put Eddie on. Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Did he come up with anything on that Sidney character? Yeah, I'll hold on.
Anything doing, Candy?
Yeah, she's checking. The guy I put on the case is out. Yeah, go ahead, Mary. What's that? Give me that again. Wow. That sounds good. Tell him to stay on it. I'll check with you later. Okay. So long.
What'd they find out?
The Justice Department just slapped one of those show cause where you shouldn't be closed up papers on the Metropolis Import Glass Company. That's the outfit our friend Sidney was tied up with. The Justice Department found out they were hooked up with a big German outfit.
Oh, gee whiz.
Come on, Jim.
Where?
I want to have a talk with Sidney. Maybe he's not the nice, respectable party he makes himself out to be.
Maybe he's a big shot Nazi, huh? And Mr. Kent found it out?
Could be. Where's that automatic elevator? I never can tell the door from the apartment.
Oh, it's right over here. Yeah, and the elevator's waiting for us.
Good. Come on. Push the lobby button.
Okay.
Keep your fingers crossed, Jim. I got a hunch we're on the right track.
Closer to the truth than they realize, Jimmy and Candy Myers leave the apartment building and step into the private detective's car. A short time later, in the secret cellar under his garage, Sidney kneels on the floor next to the motionless figure of Superman, who, in Clark Kent's clothing, his eyes closed, still retains consciousness, but is unable to move a muscle under the weakening spell of the kryptonite in the Atom Man's blood. Across the small room, a radio plays symphonic music. Miller, the Atom Man, nervous and jumpy, paces the floor. Suddenly he stops, and his thin lips curl in an ugly snarl.
Isn't he dead yet, Sidney?
No. His pulse is weaker, and he's lost weight, as you can see, but it takes longer than 3 days to starve a man to death, and this is no ordinary man.
Has it only been 3 days? It seems like 3 years cooped up in this rat hole. How long is it going to take?
I told you, a month, perhaps 2.
I can't stand it that long. I'll go crazy. I'm a man of action. I've got to be doing things. I was always like that, and now it's worse. The kryptonite in my blood makes me nervous.
Soon you will be doing things, big things.
Sure, but when?
As soon as our friend here breathes his last.
I'll make him breathe his last. I'll turn on my atomic power.
Oh, no, you fool. How many times must I tell you there's no more kryptonite? How do you expect to accomplish your ambitious desire if you exhaust all your atomic power on Superman?
I guess you're right.
Of course I am. Sit down now and control yourself.
I could just take a walk around the ground.
No, you gotta be here every second to make sure Kent doesn't regain consciousness. Now sit down.
What's that?
Relax. It's only Shito telephoning from the house. For heaven's sake, compose yourself. Yes, Shito, yes.
2 gentlemen here wish to see you, Master.
Who are they?
One young newspaper reporter named Olson.
Olson?
Jim Olson, here.
Quiet.
Other name Candy Myers. He no say, but I think he police, Master.
I see. Tell them I'll be there shortly, Shito.
What's Olson doing here? What's he want? What is it? Tell me.
Stop trembling. It's beginning to make me nervous. It's a routine call, I imagine, just as we had from the police. Now, Kent's disappeared, and I suppose they're checking on everyone who had contact with him lately. They'll find nothing here.
Where are you going?
To speak to them, of course, but don't worry. They don't have the least suspicion of me. Slide the floor panel shut as soon as you hear me leave the garage. I'll be back shortly.
Confidently, Sidney waddles up the steps through the opening panel in the garage floor, unaware that he is under suspicion. What will this newest development lead to? We'll return in a moment for the dramatic climax of today's episode. But first, your announcer.
You know, I was mighty proud of my pal Eddie the other day. He handled a rather tough problem in a mighty swell way. Now, here's how it happened. Eddie met up with a new kid, a young fella who just moved into our neighborhood. And the minute this kid saw Eddie's collection of comic buttons from packages of Kellogg's Pep, he wanted them. Of course, Eddie didn't want to hurt his feelings, and yet Eddie wanted to keep right on wearing his comic buttons pinned on his jacket. So, you know what he did? He gave up 2 of them, and that was mighty generous. Then he explained how easy it is to get these swell buttons, and he offered to help the new kid get going on his own collection by trading duplicates with him. Well, I thought that was mighty swell, because any fellow or girl has a right to be proud of his collection, because these buttons are so doggone good-looking. Of course, any fellow or girl can collect all 18 different buttons, too. Easy as anything. You don't have to send in any money, not even a box top. All you do is to ask Mom to get you some of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Inside every package, there's a thrilling prize, one of these smart-looking new comic buttons, or a military insignia or warplane button. Get your prize, gang, from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now back to the adventures of Superman.
In the drawing room of his rambling stone and timbered house, Sidney, suave and at ease, sits comfortably on a couch opposite Jimmy Olsen and a hard-eyed Candy Myers.
Yes, I read of Clark Kent's disappearance, and I'm terribly sorry, gentlemen. I only met him once, but I liked him immensely.
He's the swellest guy who ever lived.
Just a moment, Jim. Mr. Sidney, you say you only met Kent once?
That's right, Mr. Myers. 3 days ago, I think it was. I called on him at the Daily Planet.
What for? If you don't mind telling us.
Not at all. You see, I've retired from business, and I've a lot of time on my hands, you see. I've no family or any other occupations to fill my time, so, as a hobby, I developed an interest in Superman.
Superman?
Yes, young man. Fascinating chap, Superman, don't you think?
Go on, Mr. Sidney. What's that got to do with Kent?
Why, I noticed that the Planet wrote more about Superman than any other paper. And Kent had written many of the stories, so I thought it might be interesting if he and I compared notes, so to speak.
He didn't make a date with you?
No. As a matter of fact, I suggested it, but he said he had a previous engagement. I do hope nothing's happened to it.
Or maybe
Hold it, Jim. You and Kent didn't talk about anything else, Mr. Sidney? Just Superman?
No, not that I remember. My visit was quite brief.
He didn't happen to mention anything about your Nazi connections?
My what?
You know what. A little matter concerning your glass company being tied up with a Nazi firm.
Oh, that.
Yes, that. We think...
Jim, what about that, Sidney?
Well, as a matter of fact, that was the very reason I withdrew from the firm when I did. But they were making the connection with the Nazis then. It was just before the war, and as an American citizen, I disapproved. When they ignored me, I resigned, and as for Mr. Kent, I haven't seen him since that day in his office. Now, does that answer all your questions?
Yes, I guess it does. Come on, Jim. Sorry to have troubled you, Mr. Sidney.
Yeah, so long.
Goodbye, gentlemen. And believe me, I'm terribly sorry I can't help you. I'll show you to the door if you'll just come this way.
Discouraged and heavy-hearted, Candy Myers and Jimmy Olsen leave the suave Sidney's house, unaware that Clark Kent lies helpless almost beneath their very feet. And in the secret cellar, aware that his friends are leaving, Kent strains to give some sign to them, to call out to them, but the frantic words never reach his lips, crying out only in his mind.
Jim, Candy, don't go. I'm here, in a secret room under the garage. Don't go. It's not just my life that's at stake, it's all the civilized world. Don't go. You're my last hope. Candy, Jim, help me. Candy.
Desperately, the man of steel strains to make himself heard, to move, but he cannot. And a moment later, he dimly hears a car drive off, and he knows he has been left to his doom. Is Superman doomed? Is his last hope of life gone? Tomorrow, something startling occurs, fellows and girls. Something you won't want to miss. So tune in then, same time, same station, for another thrilling episode in The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Publications.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, it's part 12 of The Atom Man in Metropolis, as originally broadcast on November 22nd, 1945.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Trapped by the Atom Man and his sinister ally, the fat man known only as Sidney, both of whom are aware he is Superman and plan to starve him to death, Clark Kent lies in a secret cellar under the garage of Sidney's secluded country house. For 3 days and nights, unable to move because of the presence of Henry Miller, the Atom Man, in whose veins runs the deadly kryptonite, Kent still retains consciousness, but grows weaker and weaker. Desperately, he tried to call out to Jimmy Olsen and Private Detective Candy Myers, who came to the house in search of him, but was unable to force any sound past his lips. As we continue now, Sidney has just returned to the cellar. The Atom Man, his nerves near the breaking point, snaps a question at him.
Well, what happened?
Oh, relax, my friend, relax.
What did they want? What were they looking for?
They were looking for Clark Kent, of course.
That means they're suspicious. They know Kent came here, when was it, 3 nights ago?
No, they don't.
They must, or else they wouldn't have come here. I don't like this, Sidney. I'm getting out.
Oh, sit down and relax. Nothing to worry about. They've gone.
They'll come back. They'll bring more cops. I've got to get out of here.
Oh, don't be a fool, Miller. I said there's nothing to worry about. They've no way of knowing that Kent is here. They don't even know he had an appointment with me the night he disappeared.
Then why did they come here?
My dear fellow, their friend is missing. They're doing everything they can to find him. Olsen knew that I'd called on Kent the day he disappeared. So naturally, they wanted to talk to me, one of the last persons who'd seen him. I assure you, they're now convinced of my complete innocence in the affair.
Maybe not. Olsen is young, but he's smart.
Oh, believe me, he's not half as smart as I am. Now sit down and compose yourself. Here, I brought you the evening papers. You can read all about the latest sensation. The mysterious disappearance of Clark Kent.
I'm sick of reading. I never like to read anyhow. I want to do things. I've got to do things. Can't stand being cooped up in here hour after hour, day after day.
Oh, now, Henry, control yourself.
If you say that just once more,
All right. Let's see how our friend Mr. Kent's getting along. To think that this is the great and powerful Superman, the undefeatable Superman. His pulse is definitely weaker, and he's losing weight. I don't think he'll last very much longer.
He's lasted too long already. I can't stand the sight of him. Or of you either.
Evidently the kryptonite in your blood is making you nervous. Now read your papers and I'll turn on the radio.
No, I don't want to hear any more of that music.
But I do. Frankly, I find it more enjoyable than your stupid conversation.
You're going to say that once too often.
Oh, listen to that disgusting jazz music. When Superman's dead and we are giving orders to the world, I'll have all dance orchestras abolished. That's better.
The swine! They must be stopped.
Who must be stopped?
Look, it's in the paper. The Allies have blown up 4 more of our largest factories.
Now, stop exciting yourself.
And another thing, the beginning of the trials of our leaders, Goering, von Ribbentrop, Keitel, von Papen, our greatest heroes on trial for their lives like common criminals.
They weren't smart enough. They held out too long. They should have gotten rid of Hitler and made peace. Then they'd still have their freedom and their money. It's getting late. Why don't you go to bed?
I'm not sleepy. I'm never sleepy anymore. I need exercise, fresh air and exercise.
Oh, this room's air-conditioned.
It's too small. It's closed in. I'm like a lion in a cage. Look, Sidney, if I went outside and walked for just 10 minutes, I'd feel...
No. Suppose Kent regained consciousness while you were out.
He won't. Look how still he is, like he's dead.
You thought he was dead when you buried him on the beach that time, but he revived. No, you won't stir from this room until Kent breathes his last, and that's final.
I could kill you very easily, you know.
Oh, yes, but you won't. I'm much too valuable to you. You've no brains, and you know it. You need me to direct you.
That's what you think.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important announcement.
Shut that radio!
Fire!
There is still no news of Clark Kent, star reporter for the Metropolis Daily Planet, who disappeared mysteriously 3 days ago.
Quite right, my friend.
Late this afternoon, Perry White, editor of the Planet, announced that he has increased the reward to $25,000 for any information leading to the discovery of Kent's whereabouts. We will continue to interrupt all programs to bring you any further developments. We now return you to the evening hour of immortal music.
Wouldn't Perry White be surprised if he knew he was offering a reward for Superman?
I don't like this, Sidney. $25,000 is a lot of money. Everyone will be looking for Kent. Police, private detectives, they'll come snooping around here.
Well, let them come. What good would it do them? They couldn't find this hideout in 100 years. Now, for heaven's sake, stop fretting and fidgeting. Let me read my paper and you read yours.
Dirty fat swine. Sidney.
Oh, now what?
Listen to this. Listen, it says a group of American scientists believe that they will soon have a defense against atomic energy.
It'll take a long time.
How do you know it will?
Well, everyone knows it. Took years to make the first atomic bomb, even after they'd learned how to split the atom. It'll take years more to find a defense against it.
Maybe not. They might find it any day, any hour. Then where'll I be?
You're worrying about nothing.
Am I? Suppose it happened while I'm sitting here in your rotten cellar waiting for Kent to die. Then it'll be too late. Instead of my being able to destroy Germany's enemies, they'll destroy me.
I tell you, you're worrying about nothing. Kent will be dead in a few weeks.
You're not sure of that. He's Superman, you know. Maybe he'll last for months, for a year.
Ridiculous. No man can live without food and water for long.
No man can fly either, or move mountains, or withstand atomic energy, but he can. I've made up my mind, Sidney. I'm getting out of here tonight.
Oh, no, you're not.
I am! It's too risky to stay here any longer. I've got to make use of my atomic power before they find a defense against it.
What about Superman?
It took him days to revive after our last fight. Now we've been starving him, and it'll take him longer to revive, if he does. By that time, I'll have conquered the world. And then if he dares to meet me again, let him. Where's the button that opens the ceiling panel? Oh, here.
Now, don't touch it, Miller.
Try and stop me.
Don't touch that button, or I'll shoot.
What?
One step more, Miller, and you are a dead man.
Whirling about furiously, the Atom Man stops short at the sight of the snub-nosed pistol in Sidney's pudgy hand. Conscious but helpless, Superman waits tensely. If the Atom Man dies, Superman may still live. We'll return in a moment for the exciting climax of today's episode. But right now, let's hear from our announcer.
Fellows and girls, I'm sure that if I ask you, you could tell me dozens of things that Thanksgiving Day stands for, like the courage of the Pilgrims, and their happiness at finding a free land to live in. But I wonder, have you stopped to think of how many millions of things you have to be grateful for on Thanksgiving Day or any other day of the year? Here in America, we have warm, comfortable homes and clothes. We have good things to eat. We have games and sports and friends. So many things that we just take for granted, which young people in other countries are having to do without. Yes, gang, it's a good country we live in, and it's a good life we live in it. That's what we mean by Thanksgiving. Now, back to the adventures of Superman.
In the secret cellar where Clark Kent lies helpless, chained by the power of the kryptonite in Henry Miller's veins, the Atom Man and his sinister ally, Sidney, have clashed. Attempting to leave the hideout, Miller was stopped by the threat of a pistol in Sidney's hand.
One step more, Miller, and I'll shoot.
You wouldn't dare.
Wouldn't I? I'm playing for millions, not pennies. Do you think I'd let a stupid, hot-headed young fool like you cheat me out of it? Now get into that bunk and go to sleep. You're not leaving here until Kent is dead. I said get into that bunk.
All right. You win. This time.
You'll find that I win every time.
All right. You going to sleep?
Perhaps not.
Turn the radio off. I can't sleep with that music playing.
Well, now you're talking sense.
I always talk sense.
Yeah. You'd ruin everything if not for me. You'd exhaust your power on Superman the way you did the last time, and then where would you be?
Maybe you're right.
Of course I'm right. Now go to sleep. Go on. Go to sleep. Remember, in case you get any more stupid ideas, that I'll be watching you. And I can shoot the head off a match at 40 paces.
It won't happen again. Good night.
Good night.
Climbing into the bunk, Henry Miller lies on his back in the shadows, his eyes almost closed. Across the room, Sidney sits wedged in a chair, an open book on his fat knees, the snub-nosed pistol on the table at his elbow. Occasionally, as he turns a page, his sharp little eyes in their deep pouches turn toward the Atom Man. All is silent save for the ticking of a clock on the shelf. A half hour passes. An hour. And Sidney's head nods toward his chest. There is a stealthy movement in the bunk, and Sidney's head comes up sharply. His hand reaches for the pistol.
Miller!
For a long moment, Sidney's sharp little eyes watch the bunk in the shadows. Then once again he picks up the book and forces himself to read. 5 minutes pass. 10. His head nods. Shortly his eyes close, and soon his deep breathing indicates he is asleep. Relaxed, the book drops from his knees to the floor without disturbing him. For a time there is no sound in the room except Sidney's heavy breathing and the rhythmic ticking of the clock. Then suddenly Miller, the Atom Man, slowly, with infinite care, places first one foot and then the other on the floor. In the half-darkness, his eyes gleam like a jungle cat's as he takes one cautious step, and then another, toward the sleeping Sidney. Half stumbling over the body of Clark Kent, he stands frozen, his eyes pinned on the sleeping fat man. Sidney stirs, but does not awaken, and again the Atom Man resumes his slow, silent inching across the room. His progress noted tensely by Kent, who realizes that the next few seconds will determine whether he, Superman, lives or dies. Only a few feet from his fatal eye now, the Atom Man coils himself to spring, and in that moment Sidney lifts his head, his eyes open, and he snatches for his revolver.
No, you don't,
Furiously, Sidney and the Atom Man tangle, overturning the chair and crashing to the floor. This is a battle to the death with Superman's life hanging in the balance. Don't fail to listen tomorrow, same time, same station, to the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Publications.
Well, Superman looks like a goner sooner or later, but later is always better than sooner in these cases. And what about Bat-Supe? Will there be a scholarship? Or even swell prizes? The answers are coming sooner than you think, so keep listening. And while we're at it, thanks for listening. Be sure to invite your friends to listen on their favorite podcatcher, or invite them over for dinner and let them hear it during the salad. They can also find us on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time, fellows and girls. Until then, up!
In the works of Robert Browning, there is a logic, a precision, and an intellectual acuteness which suggests a respect for science and reason alone. And yet, it is recorded that on one occasion he was confronted with a situation which he admitted neither science nor reason could explain. It happened on the day he wore his great-uncle's cufflinks.
In 1846, Browning and his wife, Elizabeth Barrett, took up their residence in Italy. And there, for the next 15 years, they lived in complete domestic bliss. At least, so the biographers tell us. And we tend to forget that even the Brownings must, now and then, have been plagued with the minor irritations which afflict less famous married couples.
But, Elizabeth, how in the world could they have got in the laundry?
There's no excuse to be so excited, Robert.
Well, it so happens that I have an engagement in just 15 minutes with Conchinazi.
Then I suggest you find another pair, Robert. I saw some just the other day lying in that top drawer, over there.
Good Lord. These, I forgot all about them.
They are cufflinks, aren't they?
Oh, yes, and not ordinary ones either. They're cufflinks with a history. They're connected with a dark deed of violence. In fact, with murder.
Murder?
My great-uncle, stabbed in the heart. They never found out who did it. But he was wearing these cufflinks when it happened. They were taken from his dead body and turned over to my father. No one knows the story outside a few relatives in England. Well, I'd better be off.
A half hour later, Robert Browning and Count Genasi were dining together in one of the most famous restaurants in Florence. Their conversation, which had begun with literature, had quickly passed to more personal matters, and Browning had launched into glowing description of his wife and of their idyllic marriage.
Sounds like heaven, Robert. Almost too good to be true. You disagree on nothing?
There's one thing we disagree quite violently on. You see, she actually believes in spiritualists, mediums, and that sort of thing.
And you don't believe in them?
Certainly not.
Do you have any sort of old keepsake on your person at the moment, Robert?
Well, these cufflinks, perhaps. Would they do?
One of them would do splendidly. Let me hold it for a moment, will you?
Browning removed one of his great-uncle's cufflinks from his sleeve and handed it to Count Genasi.
This has a rather interesting history, Robert.
What makes you think so?
I don't think it. I know it. But the knowledge doesn't come through seeing or hearing or smelling or feeling.
How could it come then?
Through what your dear wife might call supernatural power.
Then I don't believe you have any such knowledge.
But there is something here which cries out in my ear, murder, murder. I believe that means that this cufflink once belonged to a man who met a violent death. If I'm not mistaken, he was stabbed in the heart.
It would be too much to say that Robert Browning changed his philosophy as a result of this curious incident. But there can be little doubt that the very foundations of his skepticism were shaken. The affair remained for him, as it must for us, evidence of the supernatural. Evidence incredible but true.
This episode featured the Mighty Bat-Supe Players, starring Pete Lutz, Her Spooky Highness, and Andy Hartzenboyer. Bat-Supe is an AB Voices production.